Get out of my sight. Ashley Parker's voice echoed through the cafeteria. Sarah Bennett stood motionless, dripping with spilled milk, her eyes fixed on the floor. The entire school watched, phones recording what they thought would be just another bullying video. But Sarah's hands weren't shaking from fear. They were trembling with something else. Tomorrow, Ashley would learn why the last school's most feared bully had mysteriously transferred after targeting Sarah. Some predators choose the wrong prey. At Westbrook High, Ashley Parker wasn't just popular, she was royalty. Captain of the cheer squad, 100K Instagram followers, and a family name on half the town's buildings. Her kingdom was built on others' fear, and for 3 years, no one dared challenge her reign. Sarah was different. No social media presence. No past yearbook photos. Even teachers barely noticed her. But she watched. She noticed how Ashley's court, Brittany and Courtney, would scout for weaknesses. How they document every humiliation on their phones. How Ashley never got her own hands dirty until the final strike. The whispers started after Sarah's first week. Why did she transfer mid-semester? Where did she come from? The guidance counselor, Mr. Thompson, was oddly protective of her files. Even Ashley's usual sources couldn't dig up anything beyond basic enrollment papers. She's hiding something, Ashley declared during lunch, loud enough for Sarah to hear from her corner table. And I'm going to find out what. The campaign began slowly. Whispered comments about Sarah's secondhand clothes. Accidental shoulder checks in hallways. Anonymous messages asking about her mysterious past. But Sarah never reacted. Not when her locker was vandalized. Not when rumors spread about her family. She just watched, silent, almost expectant. One quiet Tuesday, Ashley cornered Sarah by the lockers. What's wrong, freak? Too scared to fight back? Sarah finally looked up, meeting Ashley's eyes for the first time. Something in that gaze made Ashley step back. You should be careful, Sarah whispered, about digging up secrets. Sometimes they bite back. The warning should have scared Ashley. Instead, it became her obsession. She had to break this girl who dared to threaten her. But with each escalating attack, Sarah remained unnaturally calm. Like she was waiting for something. Or someone. Each day, Ashley's tactics grew crueler. She hacked Sarah's school email, flooding it with threatening messages. Her followers accidentally spilled drinks on Sarah's books. They created fake social media accounts in Sarah's name, filled with embarrassing posts. Yet Sarah's response remained the same, that unsettling silence, that knowing look. What truly unnerved Ashley wasn't Sarah's silence, it was her smile. A slight curve of the lips that appeared whenever Ashley launched a new attack. As if each cruel act was exactly what Sarah had been waiting for. As if Ashley was walking right into a trap she couldn't see. What Ashley didn't know was that Sarah's last school had its own queen bee once. Past tense. And nobody there liked talking about what happened to her. The rumors varied: nervous breakdown, sudden transfer, complete social destruction. But one detail remained consistent. It all started when she chose the wrong target. The breaking point came during Spirit Week. Ashley had spent days planning her masterpiece. A public takedown that would cement her power and finally break Sarah's eerie composure. It started with photos. Doctored images of Sarah appeared on the school's anonymous gossip page. Each one more disturbing than the last, crafted to paint her as unstable, dangerous. Whispers spread about her past, each rumor darker than the last. I heard she burned down her last school, Brittany would say just loud enough to be overheard. My cousin's friend said she was in a mental hospital, Courtney would add. But Sarah's reaction, or lack thereof, only fueled Ashley's determination. During the pep rally, Ashley orchestrated her grand performance. As Sarah walked past the bleachers, Brittany accidentally tripped her. Sarah fell hard, her bag spilling open. That's when Ashley struck. Oh my God, look, she shrieked, snatching a bottle from Sarah's scattered belongings. Psychiatric meds. I knew she was a psycho. The crowd fell silent. Phones recorded everything. Sarah remained on the ground, unnaturally still. Want to know what else I found? Ashley waved a folder triumphantly. Her real transfer papers. Seems like our little freak has quite a history of incidents at her old schools. Sarah slowly stood up, her eyes locked on Ashley. For the first time, her mask slipped. Something dark flickered across her face, not anger, but anticipation. "I warned you," she said, her voice carrying across the suddenly silent gym. "I gave you so many chances to stop." Ashley laughed, but there was a tremor in her voice. "What are you going to do? Cry to the principal?" "Newsflash, my dad owns half this town." Sarah's smile sent chills through the crowd. "You think this is about school politics? You think I care about your social media empire or your daddy's money?" She stepped closer to Ashley. "You wanted to know my secrets so badly. Congratulations. Starting tomorrow, you'll get exactly what you wished for." The way Sarah said it made Ashley's blood run cold. It wasn't a threat, it was a promise. A promise that made Ashley remember all the unanswered questions about Sarah's past. All the dead ends in her background checks. The strange gaps in her history. "You're insane," Ashley spat, but her voice shook. "You're nothing. I'll destroy you." Sarah leaned in close, whispering so only Ashley could hear, "You can't destroy someone who's already mastered the art of destruction. Want to know what really happened at my last school? Why no one there will talk about it? Tomorrow, you'll find out. And for once, you'll be the one begging for mercy." Sarah turned and walked away, leaving Ashley standing there, the stolen folder trembling in her hands. The gym remained silent, the air thick with tension. Everyone sensed it, something had shifted. The predator had suddenly become prey. That night, Ashley's phone pinged with a single message from an unknown number. "Thank you for making this so easy. See you tomorrow, Queen Bee." She tried to trace the number. Nothing. Tried to find Sarah's social media. Nothing. Tried to call her contacts at other schools. No one would talk. It was as if Sarah Bennett had appeared from nowhere, bringing with her a darkness Ashley had foolishly awakened. As she lay in bed that night, Ashley remembered something she'd overlooked, how Sarah never seemed surprised by the bullying. How she'd almost seemed to welcome it. How each attack had been met with that knowing smile. Tomorrow would change everything. But not in the way Ashley had planned. The next morning, Ashley's world imploded. It started with her phone. Every social media account she owned began posting, but not by her hand. Videos. Hundreds of them. Every cruel act, every orchestrated humiliation, every behind-the-scenes plotting session she thought was private. All meticulously recorded and edited, showing her true face to the world. But Sarah wasn't just exposing the past. Somehow, she'd gained access to Ashley's private messages. Years of manipulation, blackmail, and cruelty spilled onto the internet. Screenshots revealed how Ashley had threatened teachers to change grades, how she'd extorted younger students for money, how she'd destroyed relationships for entertainment. How? Ashley screamed at her phone, frantically trying to delete the posts. But for every post she removed, 3 more appeared. Her follower count plummeted. Comments flooded in, each one more devastating than the last. Walking into school was like entering a nightmare. The whispers had changed direction. Phones pointed at her now, recording her fall from grace. Her friends disappeared, Brittany and Courtney nowhere to be found. Then the screens in every classroom flickered to life simultaneously. Sarah's face appeared, calm and collected. "Good morning, Westbrook High," she spoke, her voice echoing through the halls. "Today, we're going to learn about consequences. About how the mighty fall. About how every action leaves a digital footprint." The school watched in stunned silence as Sarah unveiled her masterpiece. She hadn't just been documenting Ashley's bullying, she'd been building a case. Every illegal action, every violation of school policy, every moment of cruelty, compiled into a devastating presentation. "You see, Ashley," Sarah continued, her voice now carrying a hint of satisfaction, "at my last school, I learned something valuable. Traditional bullies never expect their victims to fight back with technology. They don't realize that in today's world, information is the deadliest weapon." The screens showed security footage of Ashley stealing from lockers, traffic cameras catching her vandalizing cars, audio recordings of her threatening students. Each piece of evidence had been carefully collected, waiting for this moment. But here's the real secret. Sarah's voice grew softer, more dangerous. I chose this school specifically. I chose you, Ashley Parker. Because bullies like you need to learn. Sometimes the quiet ones are the most dangerous. Sometimes the prey you pick has been hunting you all along. Ashley ran from the building, tears streaming down her face, but there was no escape. Her phone kept buzzing with notifications. News outlets had picked up the story. Local parents were calling for investigation. Her father's business partners were asking questions about the evidence of embezzlement she'd accidentally revealed in her private messages. Sarah stood in the hallway, watching Ashley's retreat with that same knowing smile. Students parted before her like waves, a mixture of fear and awe in their eyes. She hadn't just destroyed Ashley's reputation, she'd revolutionized the power dynamics of the entire school. For anyone wondering, Sarah addressed the stunned crowd, this isn't about revenge. It's about justice. Every person Ashley hurt, every life she damaged, it all stops today. And for those thinking of taking her place. Her smile turned sharp. Remember, I'm still here. Still watching. Still waiting. The bell rang, but nobody moved. They all understood, this wasn't just the fall of a high school queen. It was a revolution. A reminder that in the digital age, the quiet ones could be the most lethal. That sometimes, the biggest predators are the ones you never see coming. The aftermath of Sarah's revenge reshaped Westbrook High completely. Ashley never returned to school, her family quietly moved out of town within a week, their carefully crafted reputation in shambles. The investigation into her father's business dealings became front-page news, and the Parker name vanished from building facades across town. But the real changes happened in the hallways. The old hierarchy crumbled overnight. Former victims walked with straight backs, while yesterday's bullies kept their heads down. Everyone watched Sarah, but not with fear, with a new kind of respect. She hadn't just taken down a bully, she'd exposed the entire system of social cruelty. Sarah remained exactly as she had been, quiet, unassuming, sitting alone at lunch. But now her solitude was a choice that everyone understood. Students would occasionally approach her, usually to whisper, "Thank you," or share their own stories of bullying. She'd listen, offer a small smile, but never promised action. Her message was clear, she wasn't a vigilante for hire, she was a warning. Mr. Thompson, the guidance counselor, was the only one who seemed unsurprised by the events. Sometimes, he told curious students, the best lessons aren't taught in classrooms. They're learned the hard way. A month later, a new student tried to establish themselves as Ashley's replacement. They lasted exactly one day. All it took was Sarah's quiet stare across the cafeteria, and the would-be bully transferred schools the next morning. The truth about Sarah's past remained a mystery. Rumors circulated about similar incidents at other schools, about bullies who had mysteriously fallen from power after targeting her. But Sarah never confirmed or denied anything. She didn't need to. Her actions at Westbrook had spoken loudly enough. As for the videos and evidence of Ashley's crimes, they vanished as mysteriously as they had appeared, leaving only screenshots and memories as proof of what happened. Sarah's message was clear. The evidence wasn't the point, the lesson was. Before we end this story, ask yourself, how many Sarahs are out there? How many quiet students are silently documenting every act of cruelty, waiting for the right moment? Maybe the next time you witness bullying, remember, the quietest person in the room might just be the most dangerous. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your own stories in the comments below. Have you ever encountered a Sarah in your school? Let us know. Remember, in today's digital world, everything leaves a trace. Every act of kindness, and every act of cruelty. So before you decide to become someone's nightmare, ask yourself, what secrets might they be hiding? Because sometimes the quiet ones aren't victims, they're just waiting for the perfect moment to strike back. If this story touched you, hit that like button and subscribe for more powerful stories of justice and revenge. Share your experiences in the comments below. Have you ever witnessed a bully's downfall? Let's spread this message. In the age of technology, karma has gone digital.